What's up? How are you? It's been
Good.
like, I feel like a couple years.
I feel like we do this once a year. I was
Yeah.
looking on YouTube because I was curious. I was like, I remember there was one year where it was like a couple days before the BBMAs in Vegas.
Oh
And
my gosh,
I think
yes.
you were up for your first BBMA. And it was
Yes.
like we were both
This
going
is
there.
so
We were in New York. We did the interview, but it's good to see you nevertheless.
No, you too. Wow, I can't believe it's been that long. Like that's.
Isn't it crazy? We're getting
Yeah.
old.
No.
Where are you nowadays? Or are you like quarantining in LA or Chicago or where at?
I'm in LA right now. I was in Chicago like a couple weeks ago, and then was just like out here because was working on stuff. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it tough to work in Chicago? Is like LA like the spot for you?
It is tough because, like in Illinois, like I live in the middle of nowhere, so
Right.
I was recording because I was doing a bunch of features. I would record them like where I was, like myself, you know, just in like an empty room. Like I set up a studio, whatever. Like I didn't even have a desk. I still need to order a desk because I was just like not prepared at all. So I was just setting stuff everywhere and like, okay, like, yeah.
Totally.
Headphones just like hanging off the mic and just, yeah.
Old school, man.
But, yeah.
You know what? Because you recorded some of your first real big breakthrough songs, I think, in Chicago, right? Like where
Yeah.
you're from. Was that a little nerve-wracking when you get the success and then you go to LA or you go to a different environment, wherever the first one was, outside of your original one? Is it a little nerve-wracking? Like, am I going to mess up the formula? Is it going to be the same vibe?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, well, I've always recorded out in LA for the most part. Like I would write a lot in Illinois, and I think it was just because like it's more of a comfort zone. So I feel like that's where I wrote Gold and like a few other songs and stuff. But yeah, like out in LA, it could be like intimidating and scary, you know, because like I don't know, everyone's like a phone call away. I'm trying to think about it, a phone call away or whatever, or a flight away, but still it's not the same. Like I can't just like walk down the street and be like at my grandparents or like, you know.
Right.
So it's definitely, you feel a little isolated, but like I think, you know, it has like its like, you know, pros for sure.
Can you pinpoint what is the greatest or strongest or most abundant source of inspiration for you? Like, is it proximity to family? Is it just close friends? Is it, you know, weather? I mean, is there something that you can point to and you go, you know what, that's what I really draw the most from?
I'd say like my friends and family. Like my friends, like we have a lot of fun and they inspire me too, and just like, you know, like stuff they're dealing with, you know, and just like they're always there for me to like call too, to vent. And so I can then like process my emotions, so when I go in the studio I can like write about it, because or else it's just like spinning around in my head and I'm like, I can't even like make sense of anything. I can't find the words to do like, you know, to even write a song. So definitely they inspire me a lot, and I'm super grateful. Yeah.
Congratulations on I Still Do, which
Thank
is
you.
such I marvel at you as an artist because you're able to innovate and iterate and advance your sound and evolve, but still remain so loyal to what makes you you. It's unmistakably you every time, but it's always a little different. You know, the ante's always up just a little bit. You worked with some really talented people in I Still Do, but can you tell us the backstory on that song?
So I worked with Ali Tamposi and Justin Tranter, Jason Evigan. They're incredible. Like I remember going into the studio and recording with them, and I was so nervous because I didn't know how to like control my voice at all, because this was like a few years ago, maybe like 3. And they're like, okay, like sing it like Ali did, like the hook, you know, like project and stuff. And I was like, I don't know how it's gonna go, but like they were so encouraging. And I remember them, like I remember going to Jason's studio and just Ali being there and being like, no, like you got it, do it like this. So like working with them, like I've learned so much and all that, like, so I'm like super grateful. And you know, when I was showed, because I didn't write the whole song, we co-wrote, so when it was sent over I really related to it and connected, and made it like personal to me. Like I switched up the second verse a bit, you know, and I feel like it helps in terms of writing, you know, seeing how they approach it and everything, and then as opposed to like what I do. So
it's a really great point you make, and I'm glad you described it as you did, because sometimes, you know, fans or just people might misinterpret what it means to co-write a song. You know, like, you know, you wrote with other people who wrote it, whatever. but it's so great to have almost a starting point that they bring you.
Yeah.
And then you can pour it through like the filter of you, if you will, you know?
For sure, yeah, because it's like they'll come up with things that I would never think of, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like, that's also like part of like the learning process for me, because I mean, this was 3 years ago I had just started, so I was like, whoa, like that's a cool like way to, you know, describe this situation, you know? So it's nice when like working with people of that caliber to like lay the, not the groundwork, but like kind of, you know, help guide you in a way.
Foundation.
You know? Yeah.
Totally. I also want to spotlight the video because the video is great and there's some symbolism in it with is it Lil Kiwi? Am I saying
yes.
the character's name right?
My
Can you explain that?
From, so Lil Kiwi is like who will always be a part of me. It's like it's not an alter ego. It's kind of just like who I was early in my career. You know, I made a lot of bad decisions and was very like just kind of like a loose cannon. Like you never know what you were gonna get. And so I want to like bring people to that like part of my life in that chapter and explain myself, because I feel like early in my career I might have rubbed people the wrong way, or you know, just been kind of misunderstood because I didn't do a lot of interviews and you know, I just didn't feel comfortable. Like my whole life kind of changed like super quick, and I didn't even know how to answer the questions that people were trying to ask me because I didn't even know who I was. And so Lil Kiwi just turned into like a defense mechanism from like being pushed and pulled in so many directions like early on. So I want to bring people, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool how you wove it all together.
I think, I want to be more transparent, you know, especially with this album and, yeah. Yeah.
Well, it's your debut album, and I know you're hard to work on it. We got some fan questions about it, but that's sort of like it's funny because you've had very successful records, but you know, this is probably going to be your big hello of who Kiiara is.
Yeah.
You know, personally.
Yeah, and it's also like to let people like kind of understand why it's taken so long, because I feel bad. It's been like 5 years, but you know, I'm finally ready to be like, okay, this is who I am. This is what I've been going through, and hopefully, like, I can help people, you know, or hopefully like the music can help someone, even if it helps like a handful of people. Like that's all, you know. That's why I make music.
Yeah.
I want it to help me the way like my favorite artists have, you know, or I wanted to help them the way my favorite artists helped me, you know.
Right, and pay it forward. Because, I mean, you'll probably attest to this. It gets boring real quick, you know, just getting streaming numbers and not helping anybody. I think that's where the real fulfillment comes from. Because you want to have, like, for me, like, I want, like, to have a purpose, you know? And I don't, I do this because I love it. And, you know, I see the fans, you know, their messages of, like, oh, this really helped me through this time in my life and this, you know, and it really, like I'll cry. Like, I'll literally be, like, start crying. Like, oh, my God, because, you know, I've been there. Like, you know. Totally. All right. So I hope I didn't ask any of the fan questions because they are great. Let's start off with question number one. Are you going to be making any songs? I guess these are all in the context of the new album, but are you going to be making any songs with mixed genres? Have to. I mean, I feel like you don't even live within a genre. So, like, I mean, how would you answer that question?
Yes, there will be songs with mixed genre. I'm trying to think. Definitely ones that won't be on this album, but like you will hear. But on the album too, like features, and I can't really say who I featured, but yeah. But there will be like
in due time they'll find out.
Yeah, like super soon.
You know what's funny about genre is, like, to me, you were so ahead of your time, you know, with whatever you want to call it, like your sound, but you know, chop pop, quote unquote, and now seeing like this rise in what they're doing, hyper pop, you know, and core and things like that. Like, what is your perspective on that? Because I feel like there's, especially from like a vocal performance on these hyper pop songs, you were doing that in like 2015.
Yeah, but I didn't even think of it, like, or think about it. I just was like, oh, that sounds cool. Like, let's do that. Or, you know, I feel like, I don't know. I don't know. Like, because I don't listen to much. This is hard for me because I really don't listen to much music other than, like, I'll find one album I like and just play it on repeat, or one song.
Do you have an album like that right now?
Yes, it's shoot. It changes. I was listening to a lot of the Ariana Grande stuff.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah. And then YNW Melly. Like I'll go through phases where I'm like I will just play like his music like
Oh, the melodies in those songs are crazy.
Yeah. And if I'm on like a plane, it's just like 2 songs on repeat for like 5 hours.
Oh yeah.
Probably not healthy, but like yeah, so when you're like, what about the hyperpop stuff? I'm like, wait, what? What do you mean? Like which song? Yeah.
No, you if you listen to it, maybe we'll chat. I'll send you a playlist after this, but it's a lot.
Yeah,
I listened to it, and I'm like, gosh, Kiiara has been doing this for years now. That it's almost like you talk about the album finally getting here. Depending on what it sounds like, it might almost be perfect timing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like, you may have just been ahead of your own time and didn't realize it.
I know.
You know?
I know. I'm kind of nervous about that because like the songs I hear them like for 5 years, and I'm like, is this even like new? What does this even sound like? And so I'm like, kind of when I not throw the album out there, but when I put it out, I'm just gonna sit back and be like, all right, like.
Hope you like it.
Yeah. Watch, yeah, but I feel, yeah, we'll see.
All right, right on. This is kind of another genre question. A lot of people are passionate about your work across genres. They say, since you've collaborated with artists like Linkin Park in the past, are you thinking about making metal music?
Oh my god!
It's a funny question because Linkin Park probably hasn't made metal music in like 20 years or 15 years.
Since what, like Hyper Theory or like Weird and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Right?
I mean, I'm not opposed. Like, I'm totally down. I would love. I always want to keep my foot in the rock world because, like, just something about it is super comforting to me, and I don't know. I just love it. So, I mean, there could be some metal, like. Yeah. I
think you'd probably agree, right? If you're feeling metal and that's what you want to express, that's probably what's going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that where it's all born out of?
Yeah.
You know? Totally.
I mean, yeah. When you least expect it, that's going to...
Yeah. All right, cool. Are you... no, I'm sorry. Next question is, what are your predictions for next year? I mean, how can anybody predict next year? But at least for you as an artist, what do you have planned or anything you can tease?
Hopefully touring will be a thing again. And so I want to definitely be on tour. And next year, I would say just more music. Like, I don't plan on stopping. Like, I don't plan on just putting out the album and then, like, disappearing. I want to, like, keep, there's a lot of songs that have been made over the past, like, few years. So I'd say just,
That's awesome. All right, well, one final me question, if you don't mind, before we let you go. What's the status of the album? Can you give us, like, an update on, of course, you probably can't say dates, but...
Yeah.
But where you at?
I'd say the fall. Like, we just finished, I think we're mixing, like, the last song. They texted it to me, and so now I got to listen. And I'm horrible when it comes to mixes. Like, I'm going to be honest. I feel like sometimes if they involve me too much in that process, I like ruin the song. I'm like, turn that up, turn that down. Like, what about the kick? And they're like, yeah, there's no kick or something. Or I'll say something, they'll be like, it's not in there. Like, I don't know the language well enough. I have to like literally like study that, I feel like. But we're in that process, like the mastering, mixing, and we just did a photo shoot for the album. So
how'd that go?
Yesterday. It was really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was fun,
cool.
but that's where we're at. We're just like putting it all together.
Do you think, I don't know if you can answer this or not, do you think we'll get another single or release before the full album gets here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
awesome.
There'll be like, I'm going to sprinkle some new songs like up until the album. So
amazing.
Yeah. I can't say when, but like really soon. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Kiiara, thanks so much for taking the time, and I'm glad to see you're well and hard at work.
You too.
I can't wait to hear the album.
Thank you so much.
All right. Talk soon.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications from radio.com. While you're at it, why don't you check out some of our other great videos.